And now, your official TigerBait live show with Mike Scarborough and Buddy Songy starts now.
All right, everybody, welcome in. Another edition of TigerBait Live. Been a busy week on TigerBait altogether. Buddy and I have been out to every single practice, been providing you with practice reports. And now we get to actually mingle with you guys, and you guys get to drive the show with your questions and comments. But we've seen a lot out there. We certainly got some tan and trying to get rehydrated, but it's kind of been what we thought throughout fall camp. But we'll talk about that through the next hour. And, of course, brought to you by our title sponsor, Pride Roofing. And we're here each and every week because of them, as well as Stroube's and Capital City Grill, Genesis of Lafayette, Alumni Hall, and Manda's. And so we thank all of our sponsors for being part of the TigerBait family. But welcome in, buddy.
Good to see you, Mike Scarborough. We had a funny little tidbit. They want to get me some new clothes and a bunk bed to shack up over here because the guys said we're inseparable. Look, I don't know if it's a weird idiosyncrasy or not, but I enjoy football. Now, last year, I was dealing with some kidney stones. I was a little lazy. But let me tell you why I'm really fired up tonight, folks. And it's all about the anticipation. Here it is, 3 weeks from Sunday. Going to get another LSU commitment tomorrow. That momentum's been building. But I think people are sleeping on a few things that are totally different this year from last year. And that's what has me excited. And the first thing I'm going to point out tonight is that when coaches, and we've been around a long time, 60 plus years for both of us, and we've seen a lot of coaches. And when they like what they have in their football team and their coaching staff, they are a little more accessible. Last year, we got the first 15 to 20 minutes, and it was bye-bye because everybody knows that was chicken poop in the secondary. All of a sudden, BK did what he had to do. He cleaned house, got 5 new defensive coaches, another offensive coach who's an excellent brain trust on the offensive room with Slade Nagel being the tight ends coach and special teams coach. But now all of a sudden, he's letting us stay the whole hour. You know why? Because what we're seeing is better. I know that it's early, but coaches don't let you stay an hour when they have a ton of problems. And there are a lot of problems. They can't get injured. There are some weaknesses. But, folks, you are going to see more exciting new players. I'll just give you right off the top. If you don't think you're going to see 14 and 88 and 86 in game one, then you're sleeping. If you don't think you're going to see 10 on defense, you're sleeping. This is going to be a fun ride. But I also am going to talk about some of the things that people are sleeping on. Everybody's freaking out about the defense. Forget it.
Yes.
Forget it. GATA. Get after their ass is what's in the locker room. No, I don't know that. But he's going after people. And last year, you played a soft read and react zone. What I'm trying to tell you is that Bo Davis and Blake Baker
I still think that needs to be tempered, buddy. I'm not going that far.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
Do you know what LSU gave up in the red zone last year on touchdowns?
I don't know that applies to this year.
72% when the team got in the red zone last year, they scored a touchdown. You know what they gave up on conversions on third down? 45%.
I worry about where the pressure is going to come from, and I worry about coverage. I see wide receivers blowing by DBs every practice.
You want John Jansen coaching them or Bo Davis?
I don't think the coaches matter.
Oh, coaches me? Are you kidding me?
I think it does.
That's the whole point, folks. They're going to be coached up this year.
I don't think it's going to get them to be the Chicago.
But it's not going to be like last year.
Yeah, but don't act like they're going to be the 85 Bears either.
No. All you got to do is be appreciably better.
I think they're going to be better.
I think they're going to be better, but they're going to be coached better. Did anybody like Whit Weeks and how many snaps he got last year? No. What I'm trying to tell you is that I've got the glass half full. Mike is half empty, sometimes getting up here. But I'm telling you, folks, potentially if they win the first game and stay healthy, you got a chance to have an undefeated team hosting Ole Miss on October 12th.
See, I don't know what I am. I think I'm half empty and I'm half full. I'm trying to, but I think it's more about being a realist. I'm talking to other media out there while we're waiting to go in, and a lot of them are like me. They're saying I can make a case for 10-2, and I can make a case for 8-4. Because, but when you start going 8-4, and you start saying, okay, well, who are they going to lose to? And you go week by week, you're like, well, where's it going to come from? You have a hard time picking 4 losses.
Look, I think I learned a lot about life and football, having a relationship with Nick Saban. And it's not about the freaking outcome. It's about the process. And what have you seen? You've seen organization. You've seen no BS. If you didn't get excited about Joe Sloan and what he brings to the table, and you're going to get the same excitement with Blake Baker, they're going to be coached up. And Bo Davis is going to get a hell of a lot more out of the D-line. Kevin Peoples is going to prove you wrong and bring pressure from the edge. Blake Baker over Matt House. You're sleeping in a different house this year. Corey Raymond is part of DBU. And Jake Olson, they're better coach this year. Take it to the bank, folks.
All right, here we go. Let's dive in real fast.
Dane, how about that, man, the spicy tidbit?
Absolutely. All right, Dane Bergeron comes in with a super chat. Thank you, Dane. Mike, it was nice to see you sporting the fedora again. And by the way, it did not come with a free bowl of soup. You should invite Blake to the TigerBait party, and you two can have a hat competition. Thank for all that you do. Blake is certainly going to be invited. It's really just going to be it's not meant to be like a convention or anything. It's meant to be like a happy hour. I'm not wanting everybody to drive in from Shreveport. I know Kenny would like to come, but it's meant to be come after work, have a few drinks, and we go home. But we're going to get that date ironed out, and we're going to have it at Stroube's real soon and figure out when to do it. So thank you for that. Devon Johnson with a super chat. LSU needs to announce a goal game for Ole Miss. I know they've got a lot of extra stuff planned for the fans this football season. Certainly with the new scoreboards, the LED screens, and the light shows. You got 100 years of LSU football to celebrate this year. So between that and a great home slate for the season ticket holder, I think LSU fans are going to be happy with a lot of things this week.
And that is, of course, October 12th, the night they are celebrating 100 years in Tiger Stadium. And look, LSU could be 5-0. Ole Miss could be 6-0. I know I've said that, and they've lost 4 opening games, but this is all contingent, Mike, my optimism. A, they win the first game against USC, and Nuss stays healthy. If any of those 2 changes, then all of what I'm saying, you're going to scramble. I don't see 4 losses, no way, shape, or form right now. You may be looking at that. I don't see 4 teams better than LSU.
Here's always been my mantra. If I think 8-4, I'm going to say 9-3. It's just then that way you're better off at the end of the year.
How many games are they going to be favored in this year?
Yeah, but it's like
I just said, how many are they going to favor this year?
But we do that every year.
10 or 11.
And they go 9-3 on average the last 15 years.
Well, they gave up 2 touchdowns to Ole Miss in the last 8 minutes of the game. They got Ole Miss here. Last time they had Ole Miss in Baton Rouge, they beat them. Last time they had Alabama in Baton Rouge.
But by that logic, how many games are going to be favored in? You're saying that you're predicting 11-1.
No. It's not about the outcome. It's about the process week to week.
All right. Let's dive in some more. James Moore. Hello, Mike and Buddy. If Lacey is going to be Nuss's primary target, he has to eliminate the drops. Buddy, do you think Baker will let the dogs hunt or protect that secondary?
I think he's going to do both. I think he's going to let and that's going to be interesting to see what he's got to say. 6 practices in. By the time we talk to Coach Baker, they'll have 7 practices, which is about 30%. I think that's a great question by our listener and viewer. Look, you want to get aggressive, and you want to send the kitchen sink, and you want to create turnovers and havoc and sacks and TFLs, but you still have to protect on the edge. Oh, by the way, nothing personal against Major Burns, but keep that son of a gun at the line of scrimmage. He got burned again today. He just can't cover down the field, not trying to be critical. And Sage Ryan also has to get better.
Look at you, man. It's always on me to be the hatchet man. You're throwing hatchets.
Well, I'm fired up because everybody's thinking about this team with last year's mindset. Clear your brain. That crap is out of the house.
Roger Ramjet, hey, Mike and Buddy, always enjoy the show. Y'all watch that heat out there. Go Tigers. Yeah. I got on the scale this evening. I'm the lightest I've been in a decade of 15 years. 6 weeks ago, I was the heaviest I've been in my life. So the heat has a little bit to do with it, but yeah, you got to watch out there. And man, we're out there just standing there to see football players out there in full pads. Man, those guys got to be in the best shape, and they are very, very diligent about water breaks. I mean, they're serious. And what BK said yesterday about getting them acclimated to heat, bringing them to the indoor facility, they got the snow cone truck parked out there, ready for them after practice, just about every day. And so they're very cognizant and watching that like a hawk. And so, come to think of it, I don't know that. I mean, we've seen some ankles, but we have seen no heat related stuff. Yeah.
Look, that's one of the reasons
they do a good job with it.
This is a well-conditioned team in year 3 with Jake Flint and Brian Kelly in year 3. You should expect more in year 3. I don't think it's a fair expectation from the LSU fan base.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. All right. You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited to talk to you about Stroube's, our new sponsor. And you see that cowboy ribeye on the screen? That was mine, and cooked to perfection, a medium. And man, I'm telling you, it's the best steak I've ever had in Baton Rouge. Go to get the cowboy ribeye at Stroube's downtown, and you won't be bumped. You'll be absolutely happy. And 107 3rd Street, downtown Baton Rouge. Stroube's prides itself on providing a 5-star dining experience for a reasonable price. Locally owned with ownership in the building, taking level of pride in food and service you just don't get from any corporate establishment. Stroube's features a full menu of specialty meats, including USDA prime Black Angus steaks and 100% certified Wagyu New York strip. For those looking for something outside of red meat, they offer items such as dry-aged pork chop. I saw that was eaten at our table. Black truffle lobster pasta, redfish, and plenty more. Book your reservation online tonight at Stroube's.com. Make sure to let them know TigerBait sent you in. And like I said, you see that cowboy ribeye? That is absolutely the best piece steak on the menu. And that's typically what I get anytime I go to a steakhouse. Doesn't that look good?
Oh, and look, I love some pork chop. They've got a great pork chop. And once again, downtown, got a little bit of everything down there. When you go down, you're going to love it.
Absolutely. All right. Let's dive into some more comments. Trey Potan. Good evening, Mike and Buddy. Love how the coaches are lighting a fire on their you-know-whats. Yeah, I don't know if you saw our video today, and man, we've been putting out a lot of video in 4K. I hope y'all are enjoying that on YouTube. And man, Brad Davis and Bo Davis, they've been something else out there. I think if we could hear Frank a little bit, Coach Wilson, I think he gets after him. But Brad Davis 2 days ago, that was HBO Hard Knocks type stuff. They ought to mic him up, but a lot of it was rated R.
I don't think Brian Kelly would trade his offensive line and defensive line coaches for anybody in the country. You go say that's a homer comment. Seriously.
No.
Bo Davis is top 2 or 3. And I don't know where Brad Davis is. He was with Sam Pittman. He did the interim gig. You see the way he's recruiting. You see these 5-stars coming in here. Tyree Adams and Weston Davis. That's going to be a seamless transition. No, they won't be like Campbell and Jones are this year. But my point is those 2 guys in the trenches, I don't think he'd trade either one of those coaches to anybody in the country. Agreed?
Yeah. And that was the headline today. I pre-write this stuff out. Joe Sloan speaking. I got it ready to go, get it uploaded after it's done. And I just basically had a generic headline. But when he said we have the best offensive coaches in the country, I immediately put that I went and edited it and put that in the headline. And the thing about it is when he says that, do you want to argue it against it? He has an argument. I mean, who else?
Well,
who would he go up against?
I want to see some skins on
Across the
wall,
board.
I'm really excited about what Joe is going to bring to the table. And folks, a short passing game. I had Matt Mark on today. Matt was at the practice the first day. I asked him, I said, no BS. He said, look, Nuss is a Brett Favre type of quarterback. He's going to throw some picks. He's going to try and use that arm to get into those little bitty windows. But, man, he's going to make some throws, and he's going to make some plays. And I know we keep bragging about the wide receivers, but those wide receivers are making the DBs better every day. If you think you can cover all these receivers on any rep that you see, you're dreaming. So Ashton Stamp's coming along. Zy Alexander getting a little bit healthy. Sage Ryan and Major Burns got to play better. We know that. But a lot of complimentary players, especially not young guys. I mean, you got 3 safeties that have never played for LSU. Deshaun Spears and Joel Rogers and Kylan Jackson that are all going to bring the lumber. Jordan Gilbert's excellent. So I do think the personnel is going to be better, but get away from that soft A zone retreat. Let them catch it in front of you and then come miss a tackle. Those days are over. You're going to love watching LSU play defense, even if they give up 25 points a game, which they could.
Andy Whitaker. I want Buddy to be the D-line coach.
No. Bo, I'm no coach, but I tell you what, I know a good one. And Bo Davis, you got to agree, Mike. Yeah. That was a real coup to get him. I'm not going to demean and compare the guys, what they have this year, coaches versus last year, but it's night and day. And LSU's had 8 different D-line coaches in 8 consecutive years because of all the craziness. Bo Davis came back home. You're going to have one of the best D-lines in the country in 2 or 3 years.
Hughes Bowden, clip Buddy's reaction to coaching doesn't matter and put it on repeat for me.
Wait, what?
I guess our little battle earlier.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm scrolling down. Carl Dunn, Carl the Cat, who just retired from the city of Baton Rouge. Congratulations, Carl. Good evening, Mike and Buddy. Nice job on the practice reports. And Buddy didn't notice it, but he's been drinking out of a Taylor Swift cup tonight.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Mrs. Kelty.
Oh, geez.
That came when we went to the movies months ago, and that was the drinking. And so I was waiting to see if you would notice. And so I'm not going to keep you in the dark any longer.
Hey, congratulations to Carl the Cat on the retirement, Cat. You worked long and hard for the city of Baton Rouge, and they appreciate you. And Carl the Cat, once again, Eddie Fuller is still #1 in widening the gap as a top high school official. But Carl is moving on up like the Jeffersons, and I think.
Well, now that he's retired, he can totally focus on officiating.
Absolutely,
he's going to move up at least 3 spots.
And he just signed another 3-year deal with Coca-Cola. Yeah. And if you've ever seen your glasses, you know what we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Carl.
Todd Davis with a super chat. It says, for NIL, Gordon, Todd Graves, and what other big names give? I think there's a lot of them. I think there's some that don't want to, that they want to keep it private. And I get it for a lot of them. I do think this new, what's the name of the new deal with that's TAF connected?
Collective?
Yeah. What's the name? Anyways, now that you get points for your NIL for TAF members, that's huge.
And Austin Thomas has made a difference since he's been back.
Yeah. And look, I can tell you, as someone who follows recruiting daily, I have not seen anything that leads me to believe that when LSU's coaches are out recruiting, that they're getting beat because of NIL. It's not happening. I think when the dust settles, and like I said last week, just to make up numbers, if Alabama or Ohio State's at 16.5, 17, LSU maybe at 15 or whatever, you're in the ballpark with those numbers. Again, just making up numbers, just to, and it depends on who you're going up against and what fights you need to have. Thank you for that. Rick Cloetti with a super chat. Thank you. Talent aside, how does LSU's offensive philosophy change from last year as to this one? Is Denbrock missed? Look, you lost the Heisman Trophy winner. You're gonna have a different offense. It's gonna look different. Is it going to be less exciting than last year's offense? I think it's safe to say, yeah. But does that mean it's going to be anemic or it's going to look like Les Miles? No, I don't think so. I tend to keep going back to Is it going to be similar to 2018 Joe Burrow and 2022 Jaden Daniels? And if Nussmeier has the type of junior seasons that those two guys had, what kind of senior year might he have?
I think the offense is evolving right now. Look, you see with Mac Markway in his departure. Mac Markway was going to be the second tight end on the line of scrimmage in blocking formations, and they lost that. Of course, as we know, they're going to put some guys in there, but you're going to have a lot of fun watching 86, 14, and 88. You only had 86 last year. You got a new center, and I watched DJ Chester, and he got beat a couple times with the pass protect drills. You beat up on Charles Turner for 2 years, and then finally you said, okay, he's finally up to 300, we'll let him play. He started for 3 years. There's a growing process with DJ Chester. There's a growing process with Nussmeier. But once again, LSU is loaded at wide receiver. They're loaded at offensive line. And if they can get DJ Chester to play pretty consistent, the question is, what does Joe Sloan take out of his bag of tricks and call? And that's the fun part. I think all of that is evolving, but he said they've got the best offensive coaches.
I didn't expect to get as long-winded of an answer to my Caleb Jackson question as I got. But I think that they know what they got and what he can be if he's absolutely progressed to knowing the offense and knowing all his blocking assignments.
And since I'm not holding anything back tonight, let's just go ahead and get it out there. Coach Wilson, we love you. But please, for the life of every Tiger fan, when you see that big badass 28 running over people,
don't pull him.
Yeah, let him stay in until his tongue is dragging, and then you bring in Josh Williams or Caden Durham or John Emery. But please,
come on, Frank, so we're going to have this season.
Come on, man. Play the hot running back.
Yeah.
And they've got a bunch of them. But I'm impressed with John Emery. We haven't seen him cut and haven't seen him tackle, but they've got plenty of depth. But Caleb Jackson is a big man who wants to mess you up. And I would love to see him pile driving a few Trojans on the night of September 1. But Frank, please, when 28 gets hot, can we keep him in the freaking game?
Yeah, Rick Cloetti with a super chat on that one. Thank you. Dane Bergeron with a super chat. Buddy, I will get you a Leonard Skinner cup. Thank you for that, Dane. And he says, dang it, Mike, don't jinx the team by bringing up Miles' offense. I just made my hotel reservations for the season. Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed it yesterday. I think it was in Baton Rouge Business Reporter. One of them, what was it? Delta has added new flights, Baton Rouge to Las Vegas. So it's not too late for you to book that trip if you're wanting to go. We'll see.
You going?
No.
Okay.
No. But yeah, here we go. You know what time it is?
Sure.
Yeah, let's hear from Mike and Alex.
Hi, I'm Michael with Pride Roofing.
I'm little Alex.
Have you been affected by wind, hail, and tornadoes on the North Shore? Well, we're here to help.
Insurance claim, no problem.
We also have a new franchise location in New Orleans.
We don't build projects, we build memories.
Though you know Pride Roofing is the official roofer of TigerBait.com.
In fact, notify TigerBait and we'll give you a free roof inspection. And on top of that, you get a free year subscription. Remember to call us at 855-PRIDE-16.
There you go. Give them a call, 855-PRIDE-16. Say TigerBait with your free roof inspection. They're going to pay for it. You get TigerBait.com premium free for a year, a $99 value. Homa, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, of course, based in Hammond. Mike Faraday, a Broadmoor High and LSU grad, and been knowing him my whole life. No finer people. And if you have any roofing issues, give them a call and give them an opportunity to earn your business. A lot of the times it goes out on bid. They'll get very competitive, and you won't be sorry. And one of the best things about them is they keep $2 to $3 million worth of shingles in stock. You're not having some salesman come to your house and they have a crew that will put the roof on, but you've got to wait 2 months because your shingles are on back order. No, they keep them in stock, and that's why they've got a huge facilities. And there aren't many roofing companies in Louisiana that can do that. And so go with the local folks and a fellow LSU grad, and trust me, you'll be happy.
I talked to Mike Faraday and Mike Kirby today right before the show. They are excited about the upcoming football season. Commercial, residential, and metal roofs. They made the acquisition with Crown Metals. They continue to give back. Pride is not a word we just threw out there. They take great pride in the job that they do. PFM and many, many others have done business with them. They sharpen the pencil. Always a free roofing inspection. Once again, outside the Baton Rouge area, 855-PRIDE-16. In Baton Rouge, 225-275-2041. If you get an answering machine, leave Mike Kirby a message. He will return your call and get you started. As we know, we have avoided Debbie and all the other tropical storms and early hurricanes. So let's hope we get through it. But any roofing needs, always a free roofing inspection. Pride Roofing, give them a call. You will not be disappointed.
All right. Barry Barbie, I hope we get Jim Coley tomorrow. That's a prediction I put in 3 days ago. It's going to be LSU. So another edition of the class of 26.
25.
Yeah, 25, excuse me. I said that earlier too.
Yeah, I looked it up. That's why.
No, it's 25.
Yeah, he's coming in with Bryce Underwood, and just put up Barry.
Nashville, Lipscomb.
Yeah, cue up Stevie Wonder. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. That goes down the mark.
He's I think one or two networks might have him as a 3, but he's a 4 cumulative across networks. And he's a nice one, 6'3", 200 pounds. And man, they're loading that defense up. All right. Yeah, that prediction I put in 3 days ago. Dane Bergeron says, thank you, buddy. I love Frank's recruiting, but his running back rotation drives me crazy. You know what? We like to have fun needling Frank Wilson a bit, and I'm sure he laughs if he's ever heard about it. But if you think about it, you can go all the way back to Mike Haywood. There's been a lot of running backs coaches that have aggravated LSU fans with running back substitutions, right? You can think back to Justin Vincent, Dye, Toefield. I mean, there's always Dominic Davis.
Charles Scott had 90-something yards in the first half against Kentucky when they lost in triple overtime, and he didn't see the field in the second half. Or if he did, it was late. Look, and I know that Frank wants Caleb Jackson to do the things better when he doesn't have the football in his hands. That means blocking. That means picking up blitzes. That means swing and catch the ball out the backfield. It means doing all those things when you don't have the ball in your hands. But, man, he's going to be so much better. You asked him or kind of had discussion. You mentioned 235, and I looked at him close again today, and I don't care if he's 225 or 235. He is ready to bowl over and run around, and he looks quick. Caden Durham going to be a nice little back, folks. You're going to love. Do you think
I don't know. Michael Ford popped in my head. Do you think that was?
I think that's a
body wise, but he's bigger. But he's just his frame and his compact nature. Michael Ford is the LSU comparison for me.
Yeah, well, I think this kid's got a bright future. All I can tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick Cloetti, Charles Scott carried that 4-down play in a triple overtime, I believe, and UK coaches subbed a guy in to shoot the exact gap he ran into. Spectrum Wellcare, Suggs, Washington, and McKinley looked the part. I've liked what I've seen out of Suggs. I really do. They're going to need him to be very effective.
I think he's spot on. Sean Washington has made a ton of practice. That is what I was talking about coaching. When he got here in the spring with Bo Davis, we expect Sean Washington to be in the first two reps. He was third or fourth. He wasn't getting any reps. He obviously did a lot of work on his body, and he did a lot of work with Bo in the offseason. And I agree that he's going to be a factor. Suggs, BK said he's got a quick first step for a defensive tackle. He's a much better pass rusher than most D tackles. And then, of course, Dominic McKinley, I'm seeing him use his hands. Folks, when you're a D lineman, the first thing you got to do is figure out, is it run or is it pass? And then you got to get your pad level ready. But at some point, you've got engaged on somebody and use those hands to throw them off and get after the quarterback. Dominic McKinley's using his hands. Those guys are learning from the best, which is why I have a little optimism. They're going to play more fundamentally sound, more aggressive, and more entertaining to watch than that nightmare we saw last year.
Devon Johnson with another super chat. Have you guys seen the new video board and speakers? I posted something, I guess, about 3 weeks ago. And then I know Jacques posted something last week when he was there for Rotary and BK. And they had made a good bit of progress. And Jacques Doucet's got something on his X. And I ended up using that and dropping it on our message board on TigerBait. But no, I have not tried to sneak into the stadium and get anything new. But the latest imagery and stuff I saw was when the Rotary was up there in the suites or whatever last weekend, and media were there, and Jacques had some new stuff. But
it's coming in. It's got to be ready. Of course, everybody knows for September 7th.
Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Pierce Lee. Is there any truth to the rumblings that LSU will continue to heavily recruit Khalil Lockett until signing day? I think there's a lot of guys, not just Lockett, that they're, Jabari Antoine and others, that they're going to stay on. It's just smart to do it.
Well, that's the Texas kid, but I think French is more of a possibility. Jamie French, of course, has some ties to Louisiana, and he's another one of those 5-star receivers, and I think that might be the guy that they concentrate on. Lockett did not actually gel that well with 7-on-7 with Underwood and those guys, but Texas got him, and he's a Texas kid. I don't expect him to change.
Fire 3449. Mike, did you see that Miss Benson, the Saints, paid for Ed Daniels' medical flight back to New Orleans? Yeah, we did, and that was really exceptional of her to do that. And I was talking to Buddy about it. That's not cheap, because we were. That was one of the things we were hearing, that Miss Daniels Robin wanted to get him back home to New Orleans, and that's not cheap when you got to do it medvac, whatever the correct term is.
Yeah,
and she footed the bill for that, and she's a sweet lady.
Yeah, that was a very nice gesture by the Saints and Miss Benson.
Yes. Hey, Schubert. How do the punt returners look for the season? We talked about that on the practice report today. I've watched probably most of the, if not all of the reps. I haven't seen a drop. Aaron Anderson hadn't dropped a ball.
Aaron Anderson looks right now like we thought he would look a year ago.
Yeah.
And the great thing about it is that Xavier Thomas has been nursing the hammy.
Riding a bike today.
So other guys have had an opportunity. You got Aaron Anderson, and he looks the part. Kyle Parker's back there. Jalan Watkins was also back there, the speedster from 17. LSU is going to be appreciably better in punt return. Of course, Greg Clayton, all he did last year was fair catch, and people got tired of that.
But that was an interesting stat on that, right? Where BK talked about what the average punt return is.
Yeah.
And so we complain about it, but it's like nobody's really doing anything in the punt return game across the country. The most important thing is to field it. And when you had Jaden Daniels, who could score in two plays, did it really matter?
But look, for the older fans that go way back.
You're thinking of Kevin Falk.
Are you kidding me? Eddie Cannison, the Honey Badger, Patrick Peterson, Kevin Falk. I mean, we go on and on and on. It's LSU's always had great returners because they have great skill people. It's ridiculous they haven't been getting more out of their punt returners with the speed and skill players they've got.
Fire 3449. He says, Mike Preston and Zach covered everything except for Placekicker the other day. Is Ramos back? Yeah.
Yeah. He's a junior.
The problem about Placekicker is we don't get to see any of it. We've seen punters, but we have not seen any place kicking at practice.
Damian Ramos expected to be the place kicker. Aiden Corbello, is that John's son? He's done some good things.
I have a Corbello for Heisman T-shirt somewhere.
Yeah, I know you do. I have not seen any of Aaron Burrell. He is going to compete with.
I saw him day one last week, and he was out there stretching with a trainer. I don't know if he's got something that they're working on physically, but he was out there off to the side working individually on something.
That means Nathan Dibert will be back as your kickoff guy. Once again, the punter, we did see a little bit of a tired leg from Blake Oxendorf today. He hit the heck out of the first two, and then he started to hit him a little shorter. And we asked the question out loud, can you prevent a dead leg? You want to get it good. You want the high extension. But, man, when you kick 5 or 6 balls in a row like that, you get a little tired. So, Peyton Todd, I wish we had something to tell you differently. Nurse Court, I know you're pulling for him, but he's still got a long ways to go.
There it is. Genesis of Lafayette, Jaron Guidry, the salesman, or Blake Mesh, my buddy, best salesman in the world. There's a reason why they sell more Genesis in the state of Louisiana than any other Genesis dealer in the state. And that's a fact. They sold more in 2023 than any other dealer because they don't play. They're going to go the extra mile. If there's something specific you want, they're going to locate it. So for the very, very best buyer experience on a new luxury SUV or sedan, call them toll free, set up a test drive. If you already know what you want and you don't need to test drive it, and you live in Alexandria or DeRidder or wherever, and you want a new Genesis GV80, they'll deliver it to your driveway. They can handle it. There's no haggle. They're making great deals. They got great interest rates despite what's going on with the stock market and the Fed. And so call them 877-856-2961. Tell them TigerBait sent you. They're moving Genesis at Genesis of Lafayette. And they're huge LSU fans. Tell them you heard about them on TigerBait, please.
And probably the only reason in this world that Tiger Woods is still alive, being in a vehicle on that
GV80.
Very, very safe vehicle.
And the missus here has got the GV70, and it's an amazing vehicle. You got to check them out. It's there's a reason why they're giving Audi and BMW and Mercedes and all of them, Lexus, a run for their money. It's what you get in a vehicle for competing in that in those categories is something else. Dane Bergeron, everyone hit the like button so Mike can beat Preston. If you're enjoying the show, please do hit that like button. We really appreciate it. It when you hit the like button, YouTube senses that and pushes our show into the recommended category for people who are like-minded that are browsing YouTube. Todd Davis, Eddie Kinnison's 99-yard punt return for touchdown, Mississippi State, I believe. There was a lot of them, and Buddy's right. Now you got a question. Now, when was the last touchdown punt return for a touchdown? Was it more recent than I'm thinking? Because in my mind, it's been years.
Gosh.
Somebody know? Post it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the last few years have been a blur, so I just know that it's been fair catch city the last 2 years. But Trey Palmer did take some punt returns back, but remember, there's always flags on it. But Trey Palmer might be the answer. What I remember, I don't know.
I think he might be right. Smokey's saying DJ Chark versus Auburn. Do we have to go that far back?
Well, that was a big return.
Everybody's saying Shark at Auburn with Auburn.
Okay, I guess that's what it is. Yeah.
Holy crap!
What?
That's a long time. You should have had a couple bots since then. Phew. Yeah, Fire 349, Jack Besh. Come on, guys. All right.
I am predicting. You can disagree or agree. I am predicting Xavier Thomas, the Z-Man. He's wearing 0 now. He will take one to the house, and I'd love to see it in the first game of the year. But USC has an incredible returner as well. Look, folks, you're going to give up more on punt returns than you did last year. You've heard me say it. Only 2 punt returns all year long for a -1 yards. You're going to give up some yardage with punters, regardless if it's Oxendorf or Peyton Todd.
Andy Alexander with a super chat. You think we could see Jalan Watkins play the Russell Shepard role out of the running back backfields?
Too light for that.
Yeah.
He's 163 pounds. But I'll tell you what, if they get him in space, it's going to be fun to watch that kid. LSU's got some exciting new athletes that can really run. And that's what I'm excited about with Joe Sloan. Didn't you see him so calm and so poised? But he was excited, Mike. He was really excited because they like what they've got on the momentum. You got to stay healthy. And you got to get through the grueling camp for another 10 days. Once you get past the 10-day mark and you get closer to the midway, you start looking at your depth chart. You start planning game plans. And by the time you get in the game week, pretty much everybody's going to know their role. So we'll see if Watkins is coming along, but it might take him a couple of months to get in the mix.
Thank you for that, Andy. Kenny Haynes, Tiger Shark in the house. Mike, I'm headed to Vegas and staying at Resort World, bringing both my boys and their girls with us. All right. That's going to be a fun trip. See if you can get you a reservation at Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen. Those are filling up quick. Of course, with that whole crew, and if you're footing the bill, get ready for a $3,000 check. All right.
I appreciate what the legal advice that Kenny brings to the site, and it doesn't matter if it's about the NCAA or some problems. He sets you straight, and we appreciate all of his input and insight and knowledge, Mike.
Yeah, he's the best, and of course, he's sponsoring our post-game show. One of our sponsors on our TigerBait post-game show, and we're going to see if we can't get live a little bit earlier than we have been. Typically, we're about 90 minutes after game in, after we go to the locker rooms and get interviews and get all our stuff up, and then get back here to do the show. But we're going to see if we can trend that up a bit. Of course, we always go. We're always early on away games. It's easy that way, but
yeah.
Depends on how bad traffic is. All right, let's see. All right, let's talk to Amanda's.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
There it is, Manda's.
Manda says it all, folks. They are the official smoked sausage of LSU athletics, and all my spicy tidbits are from being in the sun and having a great sponsor like Manda. They are all about Baton Rouge and Louisiana, and you represent this state when you do business with them. Give them an opportunity. We've had a lot of people already react to the ad. We thank Bobby and Claire and everybody over at Manda.
Yeah, John Sibley Butler's in the house. Doctor, Claiborne's return against West Virginia, 103 yards to hush that crowd. We barely got out of there.
That was a kickoff return and a beautiful one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did we verify exactly? Somebody's got a media guy out there that knows the last time that LSU returned a punt for a touchdown, and also give us the last time they returned.
Doug knows says Northwestern State 2019 Trey Palmer.
Okay, there you go. I got one lucky.
Yep. That's entirely too long, man.
Oh yeah, not with the skill and the speed, people.
Yeah.
That's what I don't think people realize right now when you see these reports. LSU's got some guys that can run, and that's what I can't wait to see with Joe. Joe's like a kid in a candy store. He's got so many new toys to play with. Look, I keep bragging about 14 and 18, and we're not even talking about Mason Taylor. So the tight ends, when you talk about the receivers, the running backs, if you can keep the O-line healthy and have a seamless transition at center, what's your gut feeling going in there here now at this point with Nuss? We saw him throw the pick the other day in the red zone, but what do you think's fair for the fans to expect for Nuss in the first part of the season?
I mean, is it fair to think that he should be in the upper third of SEC quarterbacks? I think he can get there. I do. I mean, with the weapons and the offensive line and how multiple they can be and the different things they can do, but it's going to be different. I mean, there's there's only so many Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrows out there, but I think he's going to have an offense that you're certainly going to be proud of. I think it's going to be high scoring, but they do want to run the ball, and they want time of possession.
I don't think you're going to have a Burrow or Jaden Daniels type of quarterback. You're going to have a guy that makes a lot of plays, but he's going to manage the game. And LSU more than likely is going to run the football and play a little bit more ball control than hurry up, no huddle, because they need to keep that defense off the field, which I think they'll do better. Last year, we already told you, the offense was on the field not 29 minutes a game, the defense 31 minutes a game.
American Patriot with a super chat. Great show, guys. You two are the best. Congratulations on 31,000. Thank you. We hit that Monday afternoon, and thanks to all of you for subscribing to our channel and watching our videos. And I think we've been providing y'all with a lot of great stuff, and got more coming. And it's all because of y'all tuning in and helping us grow. Colby Fudge with a super chat. The three big home games: Ole Miss, Alabama, and Oklahoma. How do you feel about a 3-0 stretch? I'm fairly confident it could happen. It can. I'm probably settling on 9-3. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. I don't think I'm gonna alter that right now. I know Buddy's at about 11-1.
No, I'm not. I don't have a number right now. This is not about the outcome. It's about the process. Every day we go out.
Are you not going to make a prediction before the first game?
Yeah. But I want to see them get through camp. I want to see the injury situation, and I want to see what kind of depth they've got. And
my prediction is that your prediction is going to be 10-2.
Maybe. I don't know.
All right.
But once again, 1 week at a time. Everybody wants to open up the book and go to chapter 14 to 15. I like to start off with chapter 1, and right now, USC. Go get you some Trojan.
Mm-hmm.
If Caleb Jackson doesn't run over at least 4 Trojans on the night of September 1, I'm going to be disappointed.
In one play?
No. Well, I thought you were going to come back and say, is Frank going
to keep Earl Campbell?
Frank going to keep
that's some Earl Campbell stuff right there.
Is Frank going to keep him in enough for that to happen?
Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got. Alumni Hall, folks. Get over to Alumni Hall. Great store off Bluebonnet and Perkins Row, or shop online. They've got it all. Nike, Champion, Johnny O, Alma Reserve, Peter Millar, Southern Tide, and more. They got the nice polos you've been looking for, hats, Yeti, and shop with them, and you can earn rewards on future purchases with their Hall Pass Rewards program. I have the discount code to share with my friends and subscribers. So when you shop, use the code TigerBait, all one word. If you go in the store, you can use it to register. Be sure to say TigerBait to registered, because you're going to get 10% off your haul. You need to get there now. Season's approaching. If you're going to Vegas, you're going to want the latest and greatest polos. The missus are going to want the earrings and the hair ribbons and whatever else. They've got everything that you're going to need for the upcoming football season. Get over there before it gets picked over. And again, TigerBait, all one word, you're going to get 10%, whether you shop online. And that's it.
Well, you know what I always say, folks, it is a beautiful store. Give yourself a good half hour to browse. By the way, if you think you're going anywhere at Bluebonnet and Perkins anytime, it's a bottleneck with traffic. And so do yourself a favor, spend some time. Great stuff for the kids as well.
Yeah. If you go on their website, alumnihall.com/LSU, they'll show you the newest items. They have a category for whatever you're looking for. And the greatest thing is it's all in stock in the store. It ships from Baton Rouge. But if you're wanting LSU gear to wear in Vegas, you're making that road trip, you might want to start getting that order in now, so you're not sweating that arriving and or the sizes that you want being out of stock.
They are sold out of Where's the Beef T-shirts.
Yeah. All right.
Great sponsor on the show, Alumni Hall.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay. Score prediction for Vegas. I don't have one yet. We're going to do that the game week.
Yeah, too early for that, folks. I mean, you got to get through this grunt of another.
But by the way, has that number changed? Have you looked at that?
I mean, lines right now are irrelevant. The last time I saw it was either 6 or 6.5, but certainly that has plenty of things that have to happen before we get a solid line on that game.
Absolutely. Again, folks, if you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button. I look at our analytics and it still says 50% of our viewers aren't subscribers. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell. Whether it's like Joe Sloan today, when that presser went up, you'll get a notification sent to your cell phone so you know it's there and it's ready to go. Our practice reports, our highlight video that we're shooting in 4K 60 frames per second. I blew the footage I shot the other day up on a huge TV in the house. Looks fantastic. Now today I was a little shaky. I think I was getting the heat was getting me. Some of that stuff you may need Dramamine, a few of my little pans, but I think the video looks fantastic. So, and that's all on our YouTube channel. Player interviews and more. We've got it all for you on TigerBait. And we're on TikTok now. As well. LSU Tigers on TigerBait. It's the same name. Go subscribe over there. We're dropping a lot of the video shorts there. Anything else you want to add? We got some time.
Well, I just kind of want to give an overview what these eyes of mine have seen, and we kind of just do an overview. Look, you're going to love the offensive line. Everybody knows about the experience of the four guys coming back. We got to watch 79 and 78. Those are going to be the two guys at center right now. DJ Chester, redshirt freshman, about 320. Cohen Ekins, a true freshman that is the guy that they flipped from A&M about 315, but neither one of those guys have played, so we got to see what happens there. At tight end, Joe Sloan lit up like a Christmas tree when he talked about the room. Everybody worried about the departure of Mac Markway. LSU has got a couple tight ends that you're going to see in space and outside, not lining up at the line of scrimmage, but in space, and there's going to be some bunch, and there's going to be Mason Taylor, and then all of a sudden you got 14 and 88, so exciting to see what you got on tight ends. Today I was going through the wide receivers, 2, 3, 4. Joe Sloan, obviously, talking about Karen Lacey and Chris Hilton and C.J. Daniels. Here's an interesting little tidbit for you. Another Manda Spicy tidbit. C.J. Daniels is on the Bolitnikoff list, and guess who isn't? Karen Lacey. So that's got to be motivating. Number 3. Mike and him had a discussion, and Lacey says no more drops this year. If he doesn't drop the ball, he's got a chance to have a 1,000-yard season and double-digit touchdowns. So offense is looking good. A lot of running backs. Now you get to the D-line. I got to ask you a point-blank question. Me and you don't have any kind of set things that we're going to talk about, but I know you had a lot of concern going into the season, the spring especially, about D-tackle. And in your honest opinion, is it better than you thought it would be, or is it about where it is, what you thought it would be?
I think it's about where I thought it would be.
I don't know, because we haven't seen anybody tackle, but I'll tell you what, physically they've got a lot of bodies, and so you got to get pressure from the edge. The linebackers are solid. Perk and Greg Penn. Your brain is going to play tricks on you when you see Greg Penn wearing number 3, because he's appreciably bigger than Greg Brooks. He's wearing 3 because of a tribute to Greg Brooks, but Perk at 4 and Penn at 3. And then the Weeks brothers. I'm watching Wes Weeks today, 33. He's almost as fast as his little brother Whit Weeks. He's improved a bunch. And then, as we said, corners, this is the big question mark, in my opinion. You got to keep Ashton Stamps healthy. Zy Alexander's got to come back. Obviously, Sage Ryan will play some of that. P.J. Woodland's a small guy, but has some ball skills. Javian Toviano, when will he be cleared to play? That's a question mark. And then we're finally seeing J.K. Johnson and Jair Brown, the 2 guys from Ohio State. Safeties, I talked about all those young guys. I just think LSU's got more players. And when you talk about 40 different players out of a roster of 85, I just think it's exciting to see, because we don't know how good those guys will be on game day.
Todd Davis with another super chat. Mike, correction. Eddie Kinnison went 100 yards for the punt return on that touchdown, fielded it at the goal line.
Yeah. And then kind of did a little whirl around, avoided a guy in the end zone, And it's one of those things. No, Eddie. And then like, go, Eddie. Of course, if you're smart, you knew what Eddie Kinnison's nickname was at LSU. Boo. B-O-O.
There it is. Capital City Grill. One thing we try to do with all our TigerBait sponsors is as partner with locally owned business we've experienced firsthand and know we can endorse and provide an outstanding experience for our listeners. This football season, we're proud to add Capital City Grill to that lineup, located on 100 Lafayette Street, downtown Baton Rouge. Capital City Grill is your ideal lunch and dinner stop for your casual dining experience. Capital City Grill features a variety of sandwiches. I've had the club sandwiches to die for. I'm a big club guy. Burgers, seafood, pasta, and steaks, almost everything priced at $30 below for an affordable experience. Don't forget to celebrate a Tigers win at their Sunday morning brunch from 11 to 2. Book your reservation online tonight at capitalcitygrill.net. Make sure to let them know that TigerBait sent you in. And speaking of that brunch, that photo you see of that Eggs Benedict, that was the missus. I actually took that picture of her plate for that. And the food is incredible there. And the parking is so easy for a Sunday brunch. I think it's going to be a perfect spot if you're somebody who comes into town to have brunch before you head out on Sunday. Great prices, and they have the best carrot cake. I know there's a place out there in town that puts a big knife in a carrot cake, a big piece that's dry as toast. The best carrot cake in Baton Rouge is at Capital City Grill. Trust me on that.
I've been going to Capital City Grill, folks, since they were in Sherwood Forest. They've got a great variety of seafood as well. And as you alluded to, Mike has got the body where he can eat the sugar. I have to stay away from it.
I can't get away with it anymore. But he says they're developing a cinnamon roll, and they were describing to me saying it's this big. I don't know if it's out yet, but they were working on it 3 weeks ago, and it was about ready. And evidently it's going to be to die for. And if that thing's ready, I'm going tomorrow. So, yeah. All right. Fire 3449. LSU athletes are doing great in the Olympics. Absolutely. I've been kind of fun enjoying the bickering back and forth on Mondo.
Yeah.
And for Sweden and that whole brouhaha.
Well, Mondo did compete with LSU for 1 year, and look, everybody wants to be called the GOAT, but I think right now Mondo Duplantis and Simone Biles are pretty tough to beat if you talk about the GOAT. Now, as we know, Mondo chose to represent Sweden for a lot of different reasons, and some people resent that, but he gave major props to LSU, and I love some of those. I don't know if you saw it, but all the stuff that they had set up in the backyard. Greg Duplantis, his dad, his mom from Sweden. So kudos to that and all the other LSU athletes. Sorry to see Kristen Nuss and Taryn Clough did not make it. And the first time in a long time, the United States beach volleyballers did not make, I think, the quarterfinals. So they'll be back, though.
Yeah, Hal Jubin, Mike, about Steve Cragthorpe. Yeah, rest in peace, Coach Cragthorpe. As soon as he got here, was diagnosed with Parkinson's and had a reduced role on the staff for a number of years. And everybody who came in contact, I loved him. All his former players adored him. And it's a shame. And may he rest in peace and thoughts and prayers for his family.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great family, 59 years old, way too early to lose you, but rest in peace, Steve.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, hit that like button, go to TigerBait, subscribe, and anything you want to add on the way out?
By the time we get to this show in a couple of weeks, we're going to have Mike Scarborough picking. No, look, it's not about the record right now. Enjoy the anticipation. This is what I love about football. You have to be.
I don't think look, it. You've been in talk radio since the 80s. I've been running a website for 25 to 30 years. It gets to a point in August, maybe about a week or so away, where people are tired of talking about it. The analysis paralysis hits, and they're ready. It gets to a point it'll maybe be like the middle to end of next week, I think. And then game week hits here, and then it gets better. But yeah, I think the anticipation, I'm telling you, it's like clockwork. You know, it's going to be next week, and people are going to be like, let's just get football here. And so, heck, what week is the first game? What is the actual first game? What's the date?
August the 21st or something. It's coming up here a couple Thursdays away, I think.
Yeah.
I think 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, so that'll give a nice little taste. So look at that. Faye Sherbert just said, just completed my Alumni Hall order with your TigerBait code. Thank you. Love the products. Please, use that. I mean, you get 10% off, and it lets them know that their advertising with us is working as well.
Hey, real quick, off day for the team tomorrow. They practice on Friday. We don't have media availability. We'll be out there on Saturday, and then talk to Blake Baker after the practice. We'll do a report after Coach Baker, and then the following Saturday we get to see the scrimmage. And I'm just going to leave you with this: Brian Kelly's a pretty smart guy, and if there were a lot of weaknesses, he wouldn't be giving us all this time. This is to build PR. This is to build confidence. A lot of new players, a lot of different coaches,
maybe
younger coaches.
Maybe the half empty is he wants us to see it so that we'll kind of tamper down expectations.
I think the last time I did it, please, let's cover up this way. The last time I did it, I said my glass is half full. Go back to the show in 2023. There's a lot of controversy about baseball, and I said my glass is half full for LSU baseball.
Mm-hmm. Drinking from the magical Taylor Swift.
Took a sip, and you know what they did that year, folks? They won the national championship. I'm not saying that, but I think you're going to have a better product, and you're going to be more proud, and you're going to be coached up appreciably. That's all I'm going to leave you with tonight. Coaching matters, and it's going to start to matter on the night of September 1.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all our sponsors. Again, if you enjoyed the show, hit that like button on the way out, subscribe, notification bell, and go over to TigerBait.com, subscribe for $1. Got a newsletter, I think, going out tomorrow, and you get a text alerts. As soon as Jim Coley's commitment, you'll get a text alert if you signed up for that as a part of our premium service, and I'll be on the message boards as well. And the football content is flowing, multiple pieces every day. And that'll be the way it's going to be for months now. So all the more reason to subscribe to TigerBait.com. All right, everybody. For Buddy Songy, I'm Mike Scarborough. Good night, everybody.